You ever walk into a place and feel every eye on you, judging, sizing you up before you even open your mouth? That's what it was like for Emily Carter, 29, stepping up to the gates of Blackridge Outpost, a dusty military base tucked deep in the Nevada desert. She's got no uniform, just worn boots, a faded denim jacket, and a canvas bag slung over her shoulder, holding nothing but a beat-up notebook and a pen. In her hand, there's this black card, no barcode, no name, just a faint, pulsing triangle that glows like it's alive. The guards at the gate, a couple of cocky 20-somethings, take one look at her and start laughing. "What's this, lady?" "Your library card." One of them, Private Daniels, snickers, leaning back in his chair. His buddy, Corporal Hayes, grabs the card, holds it up to the sun like it's a joke. "Looks like something my kid made in art class," he says, tossing it onto the dirt. Emily doesn't flinch, just stands there, her dark hair loose, her eyes steady, like she's seen worse than their cheap shots. She picks up the card, dusts it off, and says, low and calm, "Scan it." Daniels rolls his eyes, but he humors her, tapping the card against the scanner, and then the whole system screeches. Red lights flash, a robotic voice blares. "Override clearance. Delta access granted. Welcome, Commander Carter." The laughter dies. The base goes dark for 5 seconds, and suddenly, Emily, the woman they were just mocking, is the one calling the shots. Let's back up. Blackridge isn't just any base, it's a fortress, a hub for covert ops, where egos are as big as the desert sky. Emily, she doesn't look the part. No medals, no crisp camo, just a tired face and a posture that says she's been through hell and kept walking. The guards, Daniels and Hayes, they're young, full of themselves, thinking they've got her pegged. "No weapons, no gear," Hayes says, kicking her bag into the gravel, her notebook spilling out. "You selling cookies or what?" A third guard, Sergeant Lopez, a woman with a sharp tongue and sharper eyes, steps in, smirking. "This ain't a tourist trap, hon," she says, dumping Emily's pen into the dirt. Emily's voice stays even. "I'm here on orders." Daniels laughs, loud and mean. "Orders from who?" "Your book club." At the processing desk, Specialist Reed, a guy with a permanent sneer and a wad of gum he chews like it owes him money, takes one look at her card and snorts. "This is a military base, not Comic-Con," he says, sliding it back like it's trash. "Go play spy somewhere else, sweetheart." The other soldiers chuckle, one mimicking a sci-fi laser sound. Emily's jaw tightens, just for a second, but she picks up the card and says, "Check it again." Reed waves her off, already turning to the next guy in line. The others circle, their boots crunching, their smirks loud. A tech guy, Private Kim, scans it again, muttering about a glitch until the scanner glows blue, a color nobody's seen before. Daniels tosses the card at her, aiming for her chest. It falls to the ground. "Pick it up, princess," he says, his voice sharp. Emily bends down, slow, deliberate, and looks at him. "You done?" she asks, her tone slicing through his bravado. He turns away, muttering, but his smirk's gone. Captain Morrow storms out, his face red, his uniform so crisp it could cut glass. He's in his late 40s, the kind of guy who makes recruits sweat just by looking at them. "What the hell's going on?" he barks, glaring at Emily. "You think you can crash my base with some toy?" Before she can answer, he snaps, "Cuff her." Lopez clicks the handcuffs on, the metal cold against Emily's wrists. "I've got clearance," Emily says, her voice soft but unyielding. Morrow steps close, his breath hot. "Nobody talks unless I say so." They march her to a holding room, her bag left in the dirt, her wrists aching. As they walk, a group of off-duty soldiers spots her. One, Private Tucker, a loudmouth with a shaved head, jogs over. "Hey, it's the glow-stick girl," he shouts, snatching her bag and tossing it into a puddle. "Go back to your day job, lady." Emily pauses, her eyes locking onto his. "That bag's worth more than your mouth," she says, low and steady. His grin twitches, but the others laugh, pushing her forward. The holding room's bare concrete walls, a flickering bulb, a metal chair. Emily sits, hands cuffed, her jacket creased. Morrow looms in the doorway, radio crackling. "She's a hacker," he tells Kim, who's typing at a terminal. Lopez leans against the wall, smirking. "Bet she stole that card from someone who matters." Kim glances at the screen, his fingers stopping. "Sir, the system's frozen." Morrow scoffs. But then the red phone rings a line nobody touches. He grabs it, his jaw tight. The voice on the other end is General Hawkins, loud enough to carry. Did you just cuff Emily Carter? The last survivor of Operation Nightfall. Morrow goes pale. Release her. Now. Emily doesn't wait for his stammered apology. I don't need sorry, she says, rubbing her wrists as Lopez unlocks the cuffs. I need your cooperation. Outside, Emily picks up her bag, the soldiers watching, silent. Daniels tries to meet her eyes, but she walks past, her steps measured. Kim whispers to Lopez, that card's above the president. Lopez stares at the ground, her smirk gone. Emily heads to the ops room, her jacket catching the light. A supply officer, Lieutenant Brady, blocks her path, holding her card up like it's a joke. This thing's from a cereal box, right? He tosses it into a trash can, laughing as soldiers clap. Emily stops, looks at the can. Pick it up, she says, her voice like steel. Brady hesitates, then walks away, leaving it there. In the ops room, screens glow, officers bark orders. Lieutenant Colonel Ramsey, a grizzled vet with a bad knee and a worse temper, spots Emily and freezes. You, he growls, slamming a report down. You're why my team died in Nightfall. His voice drips venom. A young officer, Lieutenant Parker, chimes in, smirking. Probably just hid while the real soldiers fought. Ramsey grabs a water bottle and pours it over Emily's papers, ink smearing. Oops, he says, sneering. Parker laughs. Without that card, you'd be scrubbing floors. Emily shakes off the papers, her face calm. You done? She asks, her voice cutting through the noise. She steps to the main console, her card glowing, and places her hand on the biometric scanner. The screens flicker, showing a 3D map of Nightfall's covert units, all marked terminated. She points to a transmission route. This was sabotaged, she says, clear and steady. The map zooms in, showing bank deposits tied to the mission's failure. I wasn't the only survivor. I was the only one who didn't sell out. Ramsey's face drains, the room silent. Next day, during a briefing, Emily sets up her slides. Major Vaughn, a loudmouth who loves cutting people down, interrupts. We're listening to Card Girl now. He grabs her pointer, tosses it across the table. Stick to looking pretty. The room laughs. Emily slides the pointer back. You need this more than I do, she says, her voice calm but sharp. The laughter fades. Later, in the mess hall, Sergeant Klein, a gossip with a sharp tongue, flips through.